my next segment now, which is Deandre Baker and Quinton Dunbar. Um, there's a recent. I'll just read what I wrote. There's a rumor. There's a rumor going around the NFL right now that Giants' second-year cornerback Deandre Baker and six-year Seahawks 6-year cornerback Quinton Dunbar paid the victims of the robbery that the two had been accused for to change their testimony. Both cornerbacks were accused of stealing money and other valuables from people at a party in May. And DeAndre Baker pleaded guilty, and he also has denied the allegations of paying the witnesses. So that's a pretty big story right now. And coming in a second year too, and then Quinton Dunbar is one of the better slot. I think he's a slot type player. He's one of the better corners in the league. And so both DeAndre Baker and Quinton Dunbar's future with their teams are probably unlikely following this situation. When there's more, I'll report more when new stuff comes out. And then so now we have my last segment, Bud Dupree, Steelers linebacker, edge rusher. Bud Dupree has filed for grievance over his franchise tag situation. His franchise tag is being paid as a linebacker, but he wants to be paid as a defensive end. And Shaquille Barrett of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers also wants to be paid as a defensive end and not a linebacker. So they both play defense. I mean, they don't play. They're not defensive end. They both play offense. Not offense. They both play outside linebacker in a 3-4 scheme with the making them both edge rushers. So they're not going to play in coverage. They'll rush. They'll stop the run. Bud Dupree is coming off a breakout year in which he had 11.5 sacks and 16 tackles for loss. He did not even have that in his first, was it 3? I think it's in his first 3 seasons combined. He only had 20 sacks. I think that's right. That might be wrong. That's probably wrong. I'm going to fact check real quick, but no, that's right. He had exactly 20 sacks in his first, actually 4 seasons, not 5, not 3. His first 4 seasons, he had 20 sacks. That's 5 per season, obviously. He's coming off his breakout year, and so the Steelers are not going to give him a long-term deal yet. They want to see if he can do it again, so they're going to franchise tag him. They also didn't really have enough money to give him a long-term deal right now. So he wants to be paid as a defensive end. Same for Shaq Barrett, who, like I said earlier, is coming off a 19.5 sack season, which was first in the league. And he also had 23 tackles for loss, which was tied for second with other Steelers outside linebacker, edge rusher, TJ Watt, he's gonna break the single sack season record this year. I'm calling it. So they both want to be paid for a position that they're not, pretty much. The difference between a defensive end franchise tag and a linebacker's franchise tag is that the defensive end gets paid more, like gets around roughly $2 million, which in NFL terms does not sound like a lot, but in not NFL terms, that sounds like a lot of money. I would be set for life with $2 million. So I mean, I don't know if if the NFL will accept the grievance. I think that's how that works. But I think you should not. These are both their breakout seasons. They were both not top edge rushers. I mean, they're not top. Shaq Barrett might be a top edge rusher, but Bud Dupree is not top yet. Um, I don't know if they should be paid for their one season of this performance. I think to get to get the $2 extra million, you need to prove that you can do it again. That's why I think the NFL should decline it. Like if it was, let's say if it was a consistent player that's doing this, I could see them accepting it. But I want the NFL can they I mean they haven't done it yet. So what makes you think that they could do it now? You know? All right, well that's all I have for today. Thank you for watching and peace.